somebody on YouTube suggested taking the water hose I got from Dave, connecting it to my filler neck, and running it up into a container, which I will do. This is perfect. Thank you very, very much for solving my trouble for now. Later in the week I'm going out to get a permanent solution for this. I want to rebuild the whole system, and I want to do it right. It means I'm going to change the angle of these upwards, make it a thermosyphon system, and have an option to use a water pump when I want to. So I'm going to have two systems. I'm going to have a thermosyphon with a large radiator coil, and also the water pump, which will pump water out to the middle of the camper as I already have. So it'll be double system, optional water pump. But for now, this is going to be an incredible fix. If this sink can handle the hot water, there is rubber inside, but I think it's a hot water line for housing. If it can handle the hot water of 150 degrees, which is the maximum it should normally get, then I'm in business here. I'm going to find a container to put this on and somehow rig it up above the stove. So thank you everybody for all the help, comments, and tips. I think I won't have any more water leakage and boil over. I've moved my TV antenna way up in the air. I had 17 channels the other day. I'm still searching for the optimal position. This rotates 360 degrees, remote control, so I'm still looking for the best position for that. Now I am still in a lot of trees. For even better reception would be for me to put it out in the middle of the meadow and put it up high, or get it up higher yet here. So I'm working on that, but for now it's up above the camper quite a ways. I simply rigged it up to my the start of my water collection system framework. But I went from 10 channels to 17 channels. Definitely better. I'm getting there, but I will not stop till I get more channels. Now, a lot of people are commenting about my frame for the water collector. It's not finished. This is not how I'm going to leave it. This is just the beginning. Look, there's nothing there, just air. Nothing. I'm not done. All I have is a single board going across. This is not the completed frame. This is just the beginning. I have a lot of work to do yet to get that up, and it's going to be very rugged. This stuff is massive. This stuff is heavy, solid, thick oak. And I'm saying heavy. This is really heavy. The middle cross pieces are oak. That's all oak. That's solid oak. That's all solid oak. The frame in itself is extremely heavy. Somebody suggested putting up the whole pallets and making a frame that way. Well, I'm sorry. There's no way I could do it alone. There's absolutely no way. I did not bury the legs. Why? Because they'll rot. I'm actually going to find stones or bricks or cement blocks to put this on so that they will never rot. And then Seeds to Freedom, I think is your name, the guy that's a bugger driving me insane here. Just for you, I am going to run stakes down here. Yes, I'm going to secure it to here firmly, and all of my legs will be secured with stakes driven deeply into the ground, and that way it won't fly away, the wind won't lift it, it'll be safe and grounded, but yet my beams won't rot. So I hope that clears up what I'm doing so far. And the porch, once I get it set up, is going to be mounted securely to the frame as well, and that's going to add a massive amount of weight, because the porch is also made of solid oak boards and pieces. So it's going to be very heavy, very rugged, and should never fly away, I hope. Sort of a tornado. Nothing should take it away. Well, my plants did survive the cold night. They're all there. They're all alright. A little bit worse for the wear from the pressure of the plastic and the sticks that I threw on top. A couple of my tomatoes are not too happy with me. I think this one suffered some damage. I'm not sure if the cold got to it last night. I think Susan, who watches my videos, would know the answer to this. I don't know if you can see that very well. It looks like this one might have gotten a little bit of burning last night. That one got knocked over, but otherwise most of them are okay. Here's another plant that might have suffered a little burn last night from the cold. Here's another. Looks like it got burnt. It's a better view. It looks like that leaf got burnt last night. Maybe. The plastic ripped and tore as I was working on it, so it was not perfect. I also took my lettuce out of the planter and put it in the greenhouse, and it's doing well. My seedlings are finally starting to grow. It was the cold and the lack of sunlight that was giving them trouble, and they're starting to shoot up there. I'll get them in the ground this week, and I think they'll be good. I just went out in my local shopping mall, the Forest here, and found this old can. It's an old soldered tin can. You can see the solder marks on it, and has the two caps still, original caps. And I took it down to the creek and I washed it, and then I filled it with water, and I'm checking it for leaks. It seems to be good. Now I've taken a towel and dried it. I'm going to let it air dry for a few minutes longer, and I'm going to paint it. And this is going to be my expansion tank for the fireplace for now until I rebuild the system. This will get me through the next couple freezing cold days out here. And this is now filled out to about here with water, creek water, but who cares for now. This is going to sit on top of my fireplace with the hose inside here in the top. The hose I just hooked up to the fireplace will go inside and just lay down inside here below the water level. And it can do whatever it wants now. I don't care. It can boil, it can burp, it can sputter. It'll go into this tank for me. And it'll probably create a suction when it cools down and suck water from the tank back into the fireplace system, because this will be on top of the fireplace. And it's going to be a heat mass, because this water in here is going to get warm and hopefully radiate heat all night. So let's see how this works out tonight. I'm going to paint it in a few minutes here. I've got some high heat black that I picked up a while back, and put it inside for the night and fire it up. Well, I'm just going to stand here and show you my camper as I talk for a minute. I'm not going to show myself because I haven't slept well in the last couple nights, so I don't look so hot. I don't feel so hot, but anyway. I was helping a friend out today. I have a truck that had no gas. He had gas money and no truck, so the two went hand in hand, and I helped him out today. So I didn't get much work done on the framing. I didn't get any work done on the framing today, to be honest. I wasn't home. So that explains. I know some of you are going to wonder why I'm not finishing this project. And that's why. I'm helping people. Tomorrow, again, he needs some help driving around. And now I have a truck with a full tank of gas, and he's got a chauffeur, so I'm not complaining. So I won't be working on the water collection anyway tomorrow either. And in the meantime, I'm just thinking about it long and hard, trying to figure out what's the safest, best, most rigid way to do it. I have considered thick plastic sheeting, but the wind would rip it to shreds. That's the problem. Tarps won't work. Plastic won't work. I mentioned that metal sheeting over in the forest earlier, but that stuff is so heavy and hard to move. But yeah, I'll figure it out. Right now this place is a massive construction zone, pallets everywhere. I think that looks like an amazing fence for a front porch. I think that's exactly what it's going to be. I think I'm going to take two pallets. I'm going to put one in front of this pallet and put one over here to the side of it, and put those two pieces of fence-like pallet. They just look perfect. They look just like a fence, and that's what they're going to be. I might even paint them white. They look so nice. So I think I'll have myself a little front porch right here. so I can sit out, maybe even extend the roof, put an awning or something over it. It'd be nice looking. But again, I don't want to go overboard with construction here. I gotta be careful what all I do, because it's all temporary. One day I'll have to leave. Well, there's a new looking black can it's still carrying. There's my new water tank, my expansion tank for my heater. So YouTube is definitely a good thing. I want to thank you all for your advice and tip and help and pressure. Everybody contributes something, and I want to thank you all, because some of these ideas come from you and I just implement them. So this is definitely turning into a good YouTube family. So hopefully this will work out well tonight. I think it will. In worst case, no matter what, if it fits on my wood stove, I hope it fits. But the worst case, at least, it's going to be a bunch of hot water to give off heat after the fireplace is out. Well, now that I finally have my tools, I just took off the bowl of the generator. It's no wonder the little bugger won't start. It's probably clogged up badly. So I'm going to pull off the carburetor and do some cleaning. Actually, it's really been wobbled out here. Well, that's just a choke, it doesn't matter, but still. Well, I hope the valve isn't bad. Oh, that seems solid. Alright, that sure is wobbled out badly. That's not good at all, actually. Not good at all. I'll have to figure a way to tighten that. But anyway, I want to take off the carburetor, give it a good cleaning. I bet this old thing will run. Alright, here's how I check for spark. I pulled out the spark plug and I'm leaning it against something metal. Preferably something shiny metal, but everything's rusty. It is what it is. So I'm going to wrap the rope around the starter here. I think I'm going to look in a small engine shop, see if I can find a junk engine that matches these specs, and find a shield for this, a shroud for this with the puller, because this is not easy. Now watch right here. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to zoom in and do it again. Now I'm going to rewind the starter rope, which you of course cannot see, so I'm going to talk to you and keep you entertained while I wind my starter rope and you stare at a boring spark plug. And I'm going to give it a pull right now. Watch right here. You should hopefully have seen a spark. So this old generator has good spark. That is important. It's one of the first things you check before you put too much work into it. I pulled off the carburetor bowl because I knew it was leaking in the first place. One more time, watch that. Watch that plug gap right there. Good spark. Okay, so I can put that back in. I have never to this day found an easy way to remove the screw, or the nut, on this side of a carburetor on such an engine. They're so tight in here you can't reach them with anything. You barely get your finger in there. Really a nightmare. Anyway, for those not so mechanically inclined, I'm pulling off the carburetor because it's filthy. Looks like it's been through a couple dust storms. Well, it was probably stored in a dirty environment. And I'm going to clean it and put it back on and hope it'll run. It should run. It's got spark. Okay. This is very dirty. That needs to be scraped off. It's a mess. So it takes a little bit of cleaning here. The inside is full of dirt and cobwebs and who knows what else. And it's generally very, very filthy. So I'll clean this poor old thing up a bit and see if it can run. Now I've got here somewhere, where they put it, the professional carburetor repair kit. This is for cleaning the jets once I get my carburetor cleaner out. Well, I'm a perfectionist, so if I'm going to clean a carburetor, I'm going to clean it up inside and out. What I did is I sprayed it with some carburetor cleaner, loosen up the gunk, and then I just take a screwdriver and gently scrape it off. It's really gentle. Just scrape off the dirt and the goop. Get all the big stuff off. You don't have to do this, but I like to. It's just because I figure if I'm going to clean this thing, I might as well clean it up nice and do a good job of it. And it looks clean. You can use a soft brass brush as well. Just be gentle. Scratch the loose stuff off. Again, this is optional, but I just like to have a clean looking carburetor after I've done it. Just my personal preference. I always figure the less dirt in the environment anyway, the better. It sure looks different than it did a few minutes ago. I'm going to do the same thing on the inside here, carefully, very, very carefully. When you're working on the inside, I should take the float out, but it's so rusty I don't think I'm going to get this piece out. Highly doubt I'll get the float out. I'm just going to take out this loose rust and this loose, oops, can't see it there. Take out this loose rust here and this loose dirt and junk and it's aluminum rust and metal rust, iron rust, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to scrape all that out just so that won't get plugging up the carburetor again later. All that stuff could come loose later on, and we don't want that. Again, very gentle. You don't want to mess up this float. This is something that's a nightmare to adjust, at least I think. I hate adjusting the float, seriously. I really hate adjusting the floats. That's my weakness. But if you're field dressing a engine in a survival situation, you just work carefully, scrape all the dirt out, clean the passages and stuff, and you can normally get a carburetor going again. I've taken seized up carburetors, rusted solid, and got them go again. Just clean them up. I use a piece of cardboard outside because I'm working outside to keep my workspace clean. In this case, the gas tank is full of rust. Some bad stuff. I actually had to blow through the hose to even get gas to start coming out. I think I'll eventually put an inline filter on this thing. There's a filter, but oh, that's some bad stuff. Bad stuff coming out of there. Let me see here. Actually, this is very hard to turn like this. Very hard. I definitely need a proper puller on this. It's just too hard. I heard a fire. It's probably not going to get proper gas. The gasket, or the carburetor, still needs a gasket on the bowl, so I can't run this until I get it fixed. Wow. Be nice if it runs. Not sputtered. Really need a proper pull cord to do anything with this. On a smaller engine this will work fine, but this engine's got too much compression for me to pull like this. I need a real pull starter. I'll have to go and get one. I think this will run. The shroud, the top of this is missing. Yeah, I need a proper pull starter.